Amen to that.
Warmed up on
What?
something?
Okay. I was asking if you had them in your headphones, which you do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you find me one of these things? No, a USB thing, to plug my phone in.
Yeah.
I've got one on my desk. No loud typing during the commercials.
Oh, no.
Not you, Eric.
That was it for you, Eric.
I have a boss now.
We have to give Tom the re-account every week.
Have you ever seen that cat meme where the cat's typing like this? He puts his computer as close to the microphone as possible and just goes like this. There. Now I can't do that anymore because Eric loves me when I talk about my age.
No, I just don't love you self-deprecating too hard.
Behind my ears now. We're going to be talking about this because I now have hearing aids.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
So the typing will be, it sounds like a hand grenade going off for me. I was driving down the road today and this thing goes, I'm just hearing this complete, total just noise. And I go, what the fuck is that? And it was the turn indicator. I haven't ever heard it before. So yeah, because I couldn't hear anything. And everybody said, Tom, you're talking so loud now. Oh, so quietly. I'm quieter now because I can hear, it's quieter in my head. 30 seconds out, Marianne. Are we ready?
Yep, we're almost there.
Your language, Marianne.
Okay, you too. My gosh. Hold on here, we got to do it.
Okay.
What's that?
Nothing. We're just getting going there.
Oh, Warren. Alrighty, we are almost ready to. We're going.
And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault. And what? No. Hello, everybody. It's Tom Chenault, and it's the Network Marketing Leadership Show. It's a great day, man. We have been waiting for this literally all our life. It's pretty exciting. You and I interviewing Eric Worre, father and son.
It's the real deal.
Aren't you excited about it?
I'm very excited. Hi, Eric.
Oh, Eric's here, so we're going to get to him in a minute. But I have to tell everybody about my trip to the couch. So we have this studio over here, but next door we've got this private room, and it's got the couch in it where Adrian kind of psychoanalyzes me. So he gave me like a notepad full of notes to talk to Eric about and things I can and can't say, because this is such an important deal to Adrian, which is awesome, except only one thing. What did I do?
Listen, not at all.
I threw the list away because we are not playing scripts. We don't do scripts here. And I just said, we will do no scripts. Eric Worre, you guys don't know this, but he is one of the heart guys of the business. He's not a head guy of the business. He's a heart guy. He's plenty smart, but I am telling you, what you don't know behind the scenes with Eric Worre is everything he does is driven from his heart, which is what we tried to do when we built some business that we built called Contact Mapping. And the reason we built it was because of the relationships that Eric's got, because he's trusted, he's loved. They know it goes both ways with him. People know they're safe with him, and they know they belong in his tribe. So if you go to any social media platform and look at the amount of people that he's got plugged in, and you say, how did that happen? Because all four of those things are present. And I needed anything. I mean, it blows my mind. At the mastermind a week ago, a billionaire that lived up the street came over to Eric's house and talked to those people about how much work he does still every day, even with $1 billion, what it took to make $1 billion. Here comes Harvey McKay. Here comes all these people that at the click of a finger, Eric Worre can get them. And I want you to think about yourself in that, because so many people all the time tell me how connected they are, but they're connected, but they don't have a relationship tied to it, so they just have a Rolodex. This guy is the real deal. This is why I have followed him since I had the advanced copy of the GoPro book in 2012 that I just found, signed by him. And I am in love with you, Eric Worre. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. We're happier than happy, man. You got to be lit up like a Roman candle with all the things.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we're in the deep end of the ocean, brother.
Well, it's kind of like a field of dreams. You decided to do something so much bigger than you. And I'll never forget the day I saw the post from you that you posted. Maria and I made the biggest commitment financially we've ever made in our life. You built it. They will come. But I've never seen anything like what you did on the other side of that, because you went to work and you are working right now and you're doing 24/7 what you tell people to do, which is get out there, promote, and call people, right?
Well, it's whoever talks to the most people wins. I mean, when I was working in the field, and I've been reminded it's so fun because, I've been working hard inside of Network Marketing Pro and putting out a lot of things and doing a lot of stuff over the last 10, 11 years. But when you made this commitment, I was reminded of a bunch of lessons when it comes to promoting. First of all, whoever talks to the most people wins, for sure. I mean, you can't just talk to a couple people and expect to get your goals done. Second thing is you've got to prime the pump. And that was something I forgot, which, I've been promoting now for about a month. And the first week was like I was pushing a boulder up a mountain. I mean, it was just, to get anything moving was just brutal. Second week, I was just end of every day, 14 hours, whatever. I just finished the day just saying, man, I don't know how we're going to get there, because it's just, I'm squeezing, blood out of a stone type of a thing. And then week 3, it starts to break loose. And then week 4, it's going crazy. So yeah, I mean, and there's good lessons for networkers that are out there pounding it. And after a week, they got nothing to show for it. 2 weeks, they got nothing to show for it. Takes a while to prime the pump again.
And nobody reads yesterday's newspaper. Everybody thinks that Eric Worre can click his fingers and everybody's going to show up. But everybody thinks I can click my fingers and everybody's going to show up. I promise you this, I click my fingers and nobody shows up. And all of a sudden you're realizing, holy criminelli, I got to go to work here. And what I've loved is watching the way that you guys set it up. Because not only, you must have built a giant list of all kinds of influencers, and then you figured out a way to say, okay, we're going to make you famous if you help us build this building. And what you've done is a masterful job of getting influencer buy-in, where they almost feel like partners in this endeavor to make GoPro and this GoPro recruiting challenge a success. And what I love about that is it's classic network marketing that you're showing us how to do instead of telling us how to do, which is what you've done with your 7 skills. Since day one, you took on a giant mountain and said, we're going to climb it, come with us. And I love that you did that, don't you?
Yeah, the real thing is, all the different stuff that you teach, when you're tested, think bigger. I tell everybody to think bigger, take bigger risks, take bigger challenges. And with our GoPro event, I was super worried and skeptical, because I was hoping that we were going to be able to hold it live. And I was just not impressed with anything that people were doing online, because it was all really boring. And then I saw Tony Robbins put together the studio down in Florida, spent all this money, put it all together, and kind of changed the dynamic of how to deliver a live event. And then he's not renting it out to anybody, he's just doing it for his own events, which led us to, well, okay, I guess we're going to go all the way here. So it was a $20 million commitment to putting this thing together, which was, people think that I could just snap my fingers and that's easy. That's like, when I say we're in the deep end of the pool, deep end of the ocean, we really are. But I feel alive in the process. But the whole thing of say yes, tell the world, and figure it out, whatever it is that you're trying to do, I think this is just another example, but people can apply it to different aspects of their business.
So one of the things that you have done subsequently to this, and I'd actually love to hear you talk about how early in the process this came about, but I love what you have done enlisting leaders to go and fill their own rooms inside of this virtual GoPro and creating a great incentive for them to do it, but also, there's so much momentum around that. So talk about how you guys arrived at that idea and why that idea is so powerful.
Well, Tony did his event and he split people into 300-person Zoom rooms. And he did that so there'd be appropriate amount of support and moderation inside of those rooms. But what I noticed is there was a little bit of a camaraderie and a family environment built there. And Marina actually had the idea, why don't we let leaders reserve their own private Zoom rooms and give them a link, and then they can fill them up and they can have their team together. Because, even though we've been doing GoPro for 10 years, people are still concerned about putting their teams in with a big group of other people where they might get infected with somebody else's company idea or product or something. This is a way for them to have their own chat inside of their own kind of room. And people really like that idea, the ability to have their own identity, their own event inside of the GoPro event.
Yeah.
They could accomplish their own goals.
You talk a lot about from the front of the room, like you need to have a meeting with your people here at GoPro, like something in Las Vegas, do it right after. And the ability to, for the first time ever, like in real time, be like, okay, let's apply that idea to this product and we're all in the same company. And so we can talk about these things openly. Like that's,
there's something like 220 Zoom rooms now, maybe more. They're not all full yet. I mean, they're all working towards filling up. But if they all fill up, we're talking about big numbers. And then now companies are starting to buy bulk tickets at pretty large amounts. One group yesterday bought, or last Thursday, bought 10,000 tickets for the company. Because in place of holding a big event, they bought 5,000 tickets, and they're going to buy another 5,000 tickets first week in November. Two other organizations bought 1,500 tickets each, so 5 Zoom rooms filled up, and then we just provided some incentives for different organizations for how we're going to pick speakers and things like that, extra bonuses for people who do that. Just kind of win-win, you know what I mean? We don't pay anybody any commissions because the companies and the leaders don't like us to do any kind of affiliate type things like that. They want everybody's focus to be on their product or what they're offering, which I totally understand. So it's been an interesting process.
I think you're rewarding right behavior, and I think everything that you're doing and the vibe I'm getting from the other influencers and leaders I'm talking to. I just watched Fraser Brooks and your son, Taylor, on a Facebook Live talking about just the scope of the profession. And what's his name? I can't even remember. Richard Brooks' son, Fraser, is over now in Dubai. And
yes,
he's big. I mean, it's so cute. But just the scope of this profession is so big and so exciting. And what's going to happen at GoPro on December 11th through the 13th is going to be an event of epic proportion that will never be replicated again. That you need to understand that, because this is going to be that big. This is, we've been in this COVID since March. It's going to be kind of like a Christmas present to the profession and the world. All those people that are on LinkedIn that are getting now wrapped around the pole again because they're bringing COVID back around and all the stuff back. It's just scaring the crud out of people one more time. They're going to be looking at this GoPro event, and they're going to see the numbers that are going to it, and they're going to say to themselves, I need to go to see if this is real. And what's going to be delivered by Eric with content, with guests and all those things is going to be so much bigger than the biggest one he ever did, which was the 20,000 person one I got to speak at, looking across that unbelievable landscape of people. What you're going to get with his guests is going to beat that to smithereens. So everybody here, you got to register. You got to go register. And if your company's got a room, get it. If your company doesn't have a room, just go buy a ticket at virtualgopro.com. Buy a ticket. Register right now, because if you're registered right now, your convention starts right now. The event starts right now. So go buy the ticket right now. I'm telling you. We're going to come back right after this. This is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. God bless you, Ted Anderson and Genesis Communication Network and your 550 radio stations, because this information needs to get out there. We'll be right back.
Truly a pro.
I hit that break like a...
Boom, boom. The heart out, and he just nailed it.
You would have thought I was with you and Harvey McKay at the Masters. Unbelievable. And by the way, Harvey McKay, I have been trying to meet Harvey McKay, buying tickets to events, buying all his books, doing all his courses, thousands of dollars. And finally, one day I picked up the phone and I said, Eric, could you hook me up with Harvey McKay? 30 seconds later, phone number, 45 seconds later on the phone, all because of his credibility. Harvey trusts him. Harvey loves him and knows Eric loves him. Harvey feels safe with Eric. Eric feels safe with Harvey. They're in the same tribe. So there was nothing in the space except I got to help Eric by talking to this goofball.
Well, I mean, you talk about what you're doing with contact mapping and what Harvey's done his whole life with essentially contact mapping. That's what he's done without the technology. He's lived that. I mean, and I've got to watch it in real time. His giving, seeing what he could do for somebody else and then not keeping score. He really does live that. It's crazy. And because of that, he picks up the phone. I mean, he's helped me with so many different things that he picks up the phone, and with any ask, it doesn't matter what it is. If I can do it, I'll do it. You know?
So, Eric, one of the things, I am awed by many things about you, but one of the things that has struck me over and over again, you know, Harvey McKay, Lou Holtz, Tony, Richard Brandt, I mean, like, these people don't show up on your stage just because you threw a lot of money at them. These people, like, they're your friends, and you have known these people for a long time before you were as famous in these circles as you are now. And so I'd love to know, like, how did you cultivate relationships with these people, and what have you done to maintain those relationships over all these years?
Well, usually it's friends of friends. You know, you have a friend who can connect you with somebody else. And then once you connect, like, you know, Pitbull's a good friend as an example. And he kind of didn't expect that we were going to be friends, you know, because I brought him in because I liked his story, and he was an entrepreneur and he's a personal development guy. And he came in and did his talk, but then I didn't talk to him like he was a rock star. We just hung out and we stayed in touch. And, you know, we talk about different projects, like with the studio that we're talking about. He's so excited because he wants to do something together. He's like, maybe we can do concerts in there. Maybe we can do this, we can do that. You know, so anytime you can bring value into relationships anyway, like the fact that I was referred Tony and Richard to a bunch of different speaking gigs for themselves or for their charities, you just bring value because they're going to do good things. So it's been interesting. You kind of get access, and then you don't abuse the access. You try and bring as much value as you can, and while you're there, you learn. You know.
Well said. And I think the piece about, don't talk to him like he's a rock star. Don't talk to him like he's some otherworldly thing. But
well, I mean, I'm still respectful, of course. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm just not. I'm not being that guy. You know, I'm just bringing as much value and hanging out like a peer.
Yeah,
it's different.
Absolutely.
You know, talking with Branson about his challenges with COVID is fascinating. You know, how he's managing all that, because he's in tourism, every different direction. He's getting clobbered, and how he's keeping his head on his shoulders. It's really cool.
And you become the friend. All right, we're coming back. And we're back. It's the Network Marketing Leadership Show with Adrian Chenault, Tom Chenault, but we have got Eric Worre, and this is like the best day of our life. This guy is the mentor to the mentors. And everybody emulates what Eric's been doing for a very long time. What he doesn't know is the very first time I ever had any idea, I was in Quorum, and there he was in that huge, huge stadium in Phoenix, and I was in the nosebleeds, and he was on the stage, and he gave an unbelievable speech. And I stood in that nosebleed section and said, one of these days I'm going to meet that guy.
I was 29 at the time.
I was 109, but it was like, that guy is, your dad, John, is words with friends, buddy. I
Yeah.
know your dad, I know your son, I know your grandkids. I mean, it's unbelievable. Your mom, Patty. I mean, you got it made in the shade, buddy. And the way you treat your family and watching that extended deal, I was going to go down a different direction. But again, you can see the man Eric is by the looks in their eyes. And we've had some people in common that have been in trouble with alcohol, drugs, trouble. And it's such a great day that I get a call from Eric saying, let's help this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I go,
We've
well,
had several of those conversations, haven't we?
we have. And a lot of them came back to earth. And
And you're one of the best friends they could ever have in that circumstance. You are an absolute pro and a great friend in that circumstance, which I think that's you built a great network marketing business, and you're a great leader, great radio host, all this, great dad. But I will tell you, where I think you're going to be remembered is your legacy of all the different lives that you helped off the cliff and back into society. I think 50 years from now, when we have that funeral, it's going to be filled with the descendants of those people, to say their appreciation for what you did.
dropped out of high school and got a doctorate and drunk. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. And I love that. And we've had some fun with that, haven't we?
We have.
We had a homeless guy living in our basement, man. Adrian and I, and it was in Courtney. It was great, and it made us what we are. And I'm telling all of you, if you can help somebody by giving them a hand up, even more than a handout, or my phone number, that's what you want to do. Because I'm telling you what, we are human beings on this planet. We're all in it together. I think this COVID has taught us more than anything else. We are not our car. We are not our resume. We are not our college education. We are not our house. We are human beings trying to help other human beings get through one day at a time. And if you take it like that, you're going to have a great day. And the more people that you help, the better you're going to feel. And that's what network marketing and Network Marketing Pro are all about. That's you, Eric. Now, it makes me cry. And thank you.
I will say that ministry can take a lot of different forms. It can be religious. It can be about sobriety. It can be about helping people to go from a situation that they're not happy with in their employment to being able to work for themselves, or to stop being so mean to themselves and give themselves a little bit of grace and encouragement, because I think as a society and as a species, we're pretty tough on ourselves. We got to give ourselves a little bit of grace and room to grow. But when you do, I mean, the reason why I do what I do, it's not for the money anymore. And the same thing's true for you, I'm sure, is it's really about the contribution. I mean, I just finished a Zoom right before I jumped on this, and there's a couple hundred people on there. And I just said, look, the reason why I'm here is there's about 10 of you on this Zoom that are going to change your life. And maybe as a result of the conversation we're having right now, and I'm going to get a tap on the shoulder 5 years from now and say, you don't know me, but back in 2020, on October 27th, we had this Zoom, and I made a decision, changed my life. That's what fires me up. It's helping people
Out of bed, and that's why you do GoPro. And GoPro, I mean, for the years, people thought it was this huge profit generator. You reached in your pocket. I mean, it was unbelievable. I'll never forget. It was a great day. I can tell this story real quickly. We were at GoPro. I was down in Australia, and Eric, I get a note from Eric, would you guys have dinner? So I go, yeah, hell yeah, I'll go to dinner, and there's I know there's going to be 50 of his fans there. It was not that. It was Eric and his wife and 2 children. And I was I was so scared. I could hardly breathe being in their presence. And then they told me how much money it cost to put on GoPro and how much work it took. And I was in awe of your contribution to the profession, to all of us, and the rest of the year. Don't be sending them any food stamps or anything like that. They aren't
We're
starved.
doing fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you guys, it's just like your company event or your big event that you do, man. You got to dig deep for that, and it ends up working out over the year. But man, this guy has been a whole lot more for us than you are ever going to believe. So we're going to take another little break. We're going to come back right after this. It's the Network Marketing Leadership Show on the Genesis Communication Network. We're going to talk.
I think my little pep talk worked. You're doing a good job, Mr. Radio Host.
Thank you. So here's the deal. Eric, we're going to really talk about GoPro and what it's going to look like, your attitude toward the profession, big time GoPro recruiting challenge in the next segment. We're going to do a commercial right now with him, but I'm telling you one thing right now. If you haven't registered for GoPro yet and put your $300 up, you're out of your mind. So go to Virtual GoPro during, act like you're paying attention to Adrian right now. Go to Virtual GoPro right now and register for it.
So, Eric, we had the opportunity to spend some time together in person, gosh, I think over a year ago it was now, and just had an amazing conversation. But one of the things that you said that was a picture of what we do with contact mapping that has stuck with me is that contact mapping is your forever database. And I loved that image of what this is about, and I think it totally resonates with what we're trying to build. And so I'd love for you to talk about that idea of a forever database and what that means to you and why it's so important to have something like that.
Well, think about this. I mean, what people don't realize, and we're seeing it in today's society, the social media platforms have their own agenda, all of them. All the technology companies have their own agenda. And it's not to support you, it's to support them. It's to collect as much data as possible and use it however they choose to use it, and censor or don't censor depending on what agenda they want to push. But if you have all your information on your iPhone, as an example, Apple could turn that off if they felt like it. If you have all your information in Google or in Gmail or in your contacts inside of Google, Google could turn that off if they felt like it. Facebook could do the same. So it could all of that, all of those contacts. So if you have a place to be able to put them where you control it, you own it, you build your database. I mean, it's not who you know right now. It's the people you forgot about that you could be in connection with from forever ago. I mean, think about, Tom and I, when we first started off in this profession, we really were disciplined about this. Tom was much better at this than I was. But really, really disciplined with every single person we came into contact with, and found a creative way to stay in touch, especially using social media to be able to reach people and say hi. The database is, the two things or three things are valuable. One is your skill set. You'll always be able to make money. Two is your reputation and how you show up in the world. And three is that database, as far as the connections that you have. Really, but you shouldn't put them in somebody else's control. If you put it in somebody else's control, you're at risk. And just say, how would you even reach somebody if everybody turned that off, tomorrow?
That's your company CRM. That's LinkedIn. That's Facebook. That's Google. If it's free, you are the product. That has got to make you want to cry. So just think about how much work you're putting into all that. And then imagine being able to not only document people, interview people. We train you to do that. We train you deeper than anybody's ever trained you to do that. Then we teach you to document it. Then we teach you to follow up. We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break, because it's 10 times more important than anything. And Eric is a master at training that. We're gonna take you there from here. Our job is to turn you into better human beings first. Before you're a better network marketer, our job is to turn you in to a better human being at the soccer game, at the family reunion, at Thanksgiving. Can you imagine if you walk into Thanksgiving and you're interested, not interesting? You're not trying to sneak up on them with circles for dessert. That wrecks Thanksgiving, by the way, when you take the whiteboard. So don't do that. And it's just, we're going to teach you how to do that. And that's our job. What's the website?
So go to contactmapping.com/free. You get to try this for as long as you want. You don't have to put a credit card in. You don't have to do anything. You're going to fall in love. You're going to want to get more involved with us. But you don't have to take any risk. Just go to contactmapping.com/free. Set up your account. Don't put a credit card in. Start playing around with this thing and see where the magic happens.
And we're back. This is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. It's Tom Chenault. It is Eric Worre, and it's Adrian Chenault. And get ready. We are on fire for this segment because we've got Eric Worre talking about something that he's doing for free that 1 million people are going to show up for the party. It's going to be one of the biggest things in the history of network marketing. And you get to be front row if you'll just pay attention right now and get registered. This whole segment's brought to you by contactmapping.com. Take it away, Eric Worre. Talk about the recruiting challenge.
Well, we were trying to accomplish a couple things. One is the biggest pain point in network marketing is when people can't recruit. I mean, if they join and they struggle with it, or they're scared of it, or intimidated by it, or they get a little bit of rejection or whatever, they thought they were going to be able to build a team and they couldn't. So what I try to think about is how could we help with that pain point and be a friend to the leaders and the companies all at the same time. So we came up with an idea, which was a 7-day free recruiting challenge, November 11th to the 17th. And over the course of those 7 days, we're going to teach people, show people, and encourage people to become a recruiting machine, to really be able to overcome their fears and to have a breakthrough as far as results. So if people are struggling with recruiting, we're going to help them. If they're doing okay and like to do better, we're going to show them how to do that. And for leaders and teams who've got big groups, the results are going to be massive, because I'm very confident we'll be able to average at least one recruit for every person in this challenge. So if a person has a team of 100 people, they get all 100 into the challenge, they'll double the size of their team in 7 days. I'm very, very confident of that. So I'm going to do some training. We got 20 different top recruiting leaders. Tom is one of them, that are going to be sharing their secrets and their tactics and ideas. And then I've got some big celebrities that are going to be, and thought leaders that are going to be encouraging people to part of it. So it's 90 minutes a day for 7 straight days. And we're going to help people. It's GoProRecruitingChallenge.com, one word, GoProRecruitingChallenge.com. You can register. And I'm doing lots of benefits also, Tom. I'm putting the Rise of the Entrepreneur documentary into this group so that people can use that for free. Lots of different resources. I'm doing a free pre-training next week that people can access before we start on November 11th, but they'll learn about it when they register. Like I said, it's free. We got something like 60,000 people are registered now. A lot of companies and leaders are emailing this week. So I think we're going to do maybe 10 times that number by the time we get to November 11th. So it's going to be exciting.
That's a walk in the park. I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
it is. I mean, I'm telling you, here's the chance for you to grab the brass ring bull, whatever you put, bull by something.
The horns,
You
maybe?
Yeah, maybe let's use the horns. And you get to go after it, because I'm telling you something. Can you imagine getting plugged into this thing and being able to do 10 straight days of working with people that have done this? How many?
7 days.
Okay, good. Well, I don't listen very well.
All right. That's okay.
Okay, good. Thank goodness I was watching you, Eric. But the name of the game, everybody, please go register. If you're serious about this, go register.
It's free. I mean, you literally have nothing to lose. You're going to get some great training, some great benefit, and the superstars, the recruiting, the numbers that they're putting out are just outrageous numbers. If you'll see them on the site, all the different recruiting, their personal recruits, how many distributors, how many customers they have as a result of that. And they're going to be sharing their secrets, many of them for the first time.
Is Jordan Adler one of them?
Is who?
Jordan?
Yep, Jordan Adler is one of them.
He recruited me, and I didn't even know it. I'm getting beautiful cards. I go, God, I want one of those. He goes, let me show you. Next thing I know, I am a customer of his company. And he did it, didn't he?
It was magic.
It was magic. And now I'm getting all these cards in the mail and I start noticing it. But I just think about the pros where all of a sudden you're recruited and you didn't even know it.
Well, let me give you some stats real quick. Ann Fisher, 515 personal recruits, 340,000 plus distributors, over 1 million customers.
I love her.
Jesse Lee Ward, 771 personal recruits, 16,000 distributors, 500,000 customers.
Crazy.
Tom Chenault, 1,300 personal recruits, 227,000 distributors, 1.3 million customers. Get this one. Stormy Wellington, 4,639 personal recruits.
Holy mackerel.
25,260 distributors, 555,000 customers, makes over $1 million a month.
How old is she?
40 maybe?
I know, but she was like 120 because I'm basing that on my age. I mean, that is unbelievable, Stormy.
She's unreal.
Isn't that crazy? So that's some examples. And then I also have like Les Brown, Fraser Brooks, Marie Forleo, Grant Cardone, Dean Graziosi, Pete Vargas, also as part of this. And Trent Shelton, we just added. If you know who he is, you can check that out. So, yeah, it's going to be fun.
And how much does it cost?
0.
Free. Can you
go ProRecruitingChallenge.com. Yeah.
Thinking about this, the lineup that you have for this is a GoPro Recruiting Mastery.
Yeah, it is actually.
For free. And I mean, it just has me thinking, what the heck is he going to do at Virtual GoPro if
Better.
What he's doing for free?
And
Better, I promise.
Text from my most pessimistic friend, and he goes, they don't even have an installment plan. No, it's free. It's unbelievable. Can you imagine that? You guys, you can do this. When do you take action where you finally decide enough is enough? The life you've got isn't the life you want. You want to know how these guys do it. And I am going to tell you, nice people finish first in this business. The people that are the most interested in people are the ones that win. And that starts with Eric. But he just mentioned Fraser Brooks, who had his son Taylor on a live right before here. I watched it. It was unbelievable. I think about the size of these people's hearts and the commitment they have to this profession. And I look at Eric kind of being the godfather of that whole deal, gathering all these people together. And I think about your shot to participate in it. And it makes me proud to be your friend, Eric. But I want you to talk a little bit about GoPro, because we haven't heard anything about who you're sneaking onto that stage. Because if these guys are...
Yeah, I mean, here's what I would tell you. I mean, and I was getting texts with one of the big names while we were talking, and I still can't say because it's not inked. But iconic. I will just tell you that. Think Hollywood, think iconic, think amazing story.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to find out.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to have the greatest thought leaders and authors and speakers and personal development people. We're going to have some celebrity sizzle. But you know what's the real stars? Is the most successful network marketing leaders in the world sharing their secrets and their best strategies. Between what I'm going to do, the panels and those people, all the other stuff is nice, but it's not going to, the network marketing training is going to change your life. The celebrity stuff is going to validate. It's kind of cool. It's fun, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I'm on a Wednesday afternoon mastermind with Eric and about 1,000 people. And it is one of the craziest deals I've ever seen, because then you've got Rachel Jackson. Mm-hmm. You've got Sarah and Tony Zalecki. You've got Haley Hobson. You've got Jesse Lee Ward. And all you hear through this whole thing is giving credit to Eric. And that is amazing to me. True story. Don't get all humble on me now. But then in the same conversation, they share all of their tips to how they got to the top that nobody else knows. And it just absolutely blows my mind because I live over in a world of scarcity where everybody thinks they've invented network marketing and their idea they can't share with anybody because they're afraid people are going to steal it. And I
But
look
here's the thing, and the real secret to this that Tom and Adrian have figured out, and most of the top successful people have figured out, is it's all about value.
yeah,
If you bring value, you'll build a brand. If you bring value, you'll build an audience. If you bring value, you'll be able to use that to build a big business. You'll build trust. You'll build belief. You'll build a bridge between people. But it really comes down to value, and it's fun to bring value, to know that you had an impact with somebody in some small or big way. So yeah, I mean, in other businesses, if you bring too much value to your employees, they become your competition.
yeah.
So you hide it, or other people that are in the same office, you can't share it with them because then you lose some advantage. There's a difference here. So
Another thing about that mastermind that I am blown away by, and I think you can join that mastermind if you're successful and want to spend
six figure earner or above in network marketing. Yeah.
It is a crazy deal, but another thing that happened over at Cayenne, they lost their entire management team in a plane crash.
Yep.
CEOs are dropping like flies. And here comes all these shell-shocked people to this Wednesday meeting that their life is absolutely upside down as a result of somebody leaving their downline, a product having a problem, their CEO leaving, bad press someplace on their company, and they don't have anybody to talk to. And they come in there, and Eric Worre is sitting there as the godfather, and his wife sitting there as the godmother. And they say, you know what? This happens. And you know what? You can expect it once a year probably in your business. And here's what you do. You get through it.
Yeah.
We've all been through it, and you're going to get through it. Let's stay together and help you. Nobody stands on anybody's head. It is all one team, one dream. I love what you've done to really unite all these different competitors and companies into one united message called Make This Profession Bigger and Better. And we owe that to you, Eric. It's unbelievable.
Well, we got a long way to go. I mean, we still have to improve our messaging out in the world, because we're not as tight as we need to be. We over exaggerate the opportunity. We put, even though recruiting is vital to growing a business, the emphasis needs to be on moving product to consumers. I mean, because that's the only thing that we get paid for, moving product to consumers. A larger distributor group helps us move more product. But even that little tiny piece of language is important, because the more we hype it, the more people have unrealistic expectations. So we got to up the game. We got a long way to go, but I think we're making progress.
Let's take a tiny little break. We haven't had enough commercials on this show. We need one more. Richard, Brooke, if you're out there watching, I know you love the regular radio with all the survivalist commercials, but we're not going to have one of those. We're going to have one from contactmapping.com and Adrian Chenault. So everybody stick around. This is the Genesis Communication Network. This is the Network Marketing Leadership Show.
Beautifully done.
Take it away, boss.
So, Eric, one of the things that I'm so excited about the challenge, and I have something that I want to cover when we get back out of the radio break. But people are going to have a breakthrough inside of this challenge if they really show up and they put the time in. They're going to recruit at least one person if they're willing to put in the work, and they're going to make a ton. They're going to generate a lot of activities and a lot of conversations to have that one person close during those 7 days, but to really tee up probably a lot of enrollments beyond those 7 days based on all that work that they put in. So they're going to create this sort of groundswell of activity. They're going to learn from all these legends. But what happens if they follow up and they stay on top of all of that activity and all those new people that they've reached out to, versus what happens if this is a big flash in the pan and then they kind of just go back to what it was like before?
Well, I mean, where can I find? I have the stats here somewhere.
This is so cool.
Yeah, here's the stat. What conversation's just going to do good things, right? So we're going to do this challenge, like this recruiting challenge. Fraser did one in the UK, and here was his stats: is if people had a conversation with 130 people, then they recruited one and signed up 4 customers. Okay, and this is just hello.
Right.
It's not a business conversation, just literally a hello. So I will tell you, all business is conversation. And if you just engage in more conversations and keep them going, you're going to be fine, even if it is a flash in the pan. So let's say you've got 100 people on your team and they all go into the challenge and they end up with 100 new team members a week later. Well, that flash is going to last you a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a few of them are going to hit it and some of them aren't. Some of them are going to be tourists and some of them are going to be permanent residents. And part of the success in network marketing, I think, is accepting the fact that most people are going to be tourists. Truly.
Yeah.
They don't live here. They're going to, thanks for coming, take some pictures, meet some friends, go on all the rides, visit our restaurants, take some selfies, but we know eventually they're going home.
Yep.
And that's okay. We love our tourists. Vegas loves its tourists. Come on in. We know you're going home. You're not moving here. Rome, Italy loves its tourists, and network marketing loves its tourists too. They're going to come in. Hopefully when they go home, they're going to use the products when they're done.
And I 100% agree. I think that's a beautiful analogy. And I think one of the other things about keeping the conversation going is that some of them are tourists and then they go to Vegas, they start going to Vegas every year and then they go, you know what, I think I want to go every 3 months. And then they go, you know what, why don't I just live here? I just love this.
That's what we did.
Poker tables. And so if you keep the conversation going long enough, some of them are going to become the best customers and eventually the best ambassadors of your business you've ever had. But if you so keeping the conversation going is a magical thing.
And you guys are masters of that. Both of you are masters at keeping the conversation going with no agenda. There's something magical about somebody calling with no agenda. It's so unusual that it stands out like a beacon. It's totally different.
We're going to keep that sound clip. I want to switch topics. And I can't even do it. I'm going to have to do it anyway. We're coming back in a second here. And we're back. It's the Network Marketing Leadership Show. And those of you that are listening on the radio that can't see us, I'm going to do this anyway. There is nothing better than watching Marina and Daniela work together.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Worre and watching Taylor Worre work together. And then watching this little Dominique coming through the ranks. And you just know he's headed into being a network marketer. And one thing I love about this business, and I was on a Zoom last night with Richard Brooke, and he was talking to some lady that had like 6 different generations. She was the 6th generation of some company to be in the business, and it had gone down through the generations. And to have my son and getting to work with him every day, like Eric gets to work with Dominique, Daniela, and Taylor, is just so beautiful. And I forgot your other son's name. I don't have my contact.
All right, it's all right.
The floor, but the good-looking blonde kid that's in the film business. What's his name?
Yeah, Chandler, and my daughter Alexandra.
Yeah, so that's so beautiful, Eric, and it's a very proud moment for us as dads to have our kids in the business with us, isn't it?
It is. I mean, and it's a journey, right? They all got to find their place in it.
Sure.
Where it's going to be. Taylor's working corporate. My mom and dad are in the field. But. I'm in the training piece of it. My son's in film school, and my daughter and her husband own a small business where they make wood and leather goods for different companies around the country. Who knows what Dominic's going to do? Daniela supports our whole VIP department inside the company. It's fun. It's definitely fun. I would love to work with all of them, but everybody's got their journey.
Sure. It's wonderful, isn't it?
It's so cool. I want to talk about one last thing about your challenge coming up, because I was thinking about this before the break, that at the end of every event that I have ever been to, period, but especially your events, you're just like, you're on fire. And it's at that moment that you go, I am such an idiot. Why didn't I have 10 people or 50 people that were from my team? Because now I have to try to transmit all this energy. And I'm just not as good at it. And so, but then I go, yeah, but it's hard to convince 50 people to spend 297 or whatever it is. All of that is gone. Whoever you are, wherever you are in your network marketing journey, you have the chance to basically have GoPro Recruiting Mastery for free. And there's no excuse from anybody in your team. They tell them to clear their schedules, create the energy, create the momentum, go and have your entire team organized around doing this, because you just got the gift of GoPro Recruiting Mastery for free with all of your people. They don't have to travel. They don't have to leave their homes. Like, all of the excuses are off the table. And you will really regret it if you get to the end of those 7 days and you're going, this was the greatest thing I've ever been a part of. Why on earth didn't I listen to Adrian? Why on earth didn't I listen to Eric? Why didn't I listen to Tom? And why didn't I do this? Because you get somebody to do all of the heavy lifting for you.
Welcome to little Mr. Chip off the old block, Eric.
Yeah, look at this. Here's what I would tell you when it comes to promoting. I've gone through that pain too, and been at an event and go, why didn't I have more people attend this? What I've learned in network marketing is there's 3 different kinds of people when it comes to their ability to persuade people to participate in things. There's announcers, there's inviters, and there's promoters. The announcers say, hey, there's going to be a challenge November 11th. Here's the link. There's inviters saying, hey, there's a challenge November 11th. You should join us. And then there's promoters who are just relentless. They just pound it in every direction until people finally give in and say, okay, I'm going to do it. So those are the 3 different kinds. And promoters make all the money. The announcers and the inviters make a little bit. Promoters make it all. So, I mean, if you got a team of, like Tom does, of hundreds of thousands of people, figure out a way to get 100,000 people into a challenge like this and grow the team by 100,000 in a week. It's huge. Not easy to do, but it's something worthwhile to do, because all events just make up for your lack of skill in other areas, because it's just so easy to work with people that are attending with you.
So all brain surgeons that have got this little story about $297 for GoPro.
Yeah.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go through this challenge for 7 days and look at the content you're going to get and look at the celebrities you're going to get for free. And then I want you to multiply that by 297, because that's how much more you're going to get from the GoPro event. So take that skepticism to the GoPro Recruiting Challenge. Take it right there with you. Put it in the backpack and carry it through the 7 days.
Let me give you several links. Number 1, GoProRecruitingChallenge.com for the challenge, just to get there. Number 2, VirtualGoPro.com for a ticket. You want to lock yourself in with that. And number 3, VIP@networkmarketingpro.com. If you want to set up your own Zoom room for GoPro, or you want to learn more about the next level mastermind for 6-figure earners and above, just email VIP@networkmarketingpro.com and they'll take care of you. Yeah, but look, I would tell you guys this: you guys are providing a great service to the network marketing profession. You've been doing it a long time. You've been very, very kind to me and offered all these different kind words. I will just tell you, I really respect what you're doing, what you've done. People who are involved, they should get involved with contact mapping, because this is what they really did in order to be able to have the influence that they have today. You should do that. You'll get great benefit from doing it. And for everybody else inside of network marketing, all of you need to think bigger than you're currently thinking. All of you need to be stronger than you're being right now. And every one of you needs to move faster. Success loves speed. If you're going to do it, get it done.
Holy mackerel. Well, we were going to try to do a big close, but he just absolutely outclosed the closers. We love you. We'll see you all next week with Mark J. Thanks, everybody. You did it, Eric, and we know you got to go. How many Zooms you doing? About 20 a day?
Are we off the air?
Look at that book. No. Unbelievable, Eric, and thank you. I mean, you're a rock star.
I appreciate you guys. It's fun to promote all this stuff, but I'm okay just chatting and bringing as much value as possible too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to be able to call you late at night or text you late at night, like I've done on so many occasions because I was scared or I was in trouble, to have a friend like you that I know is deep water is worth its weight in gold. And thank you.
I love you guys. And anything I can do, just let me know. I'll help you promote your team or whatever into the challenge. Happy to help you with that. I can talk to you about it privately. There's like 24 companies now that are emailing their whole database this in the next 7 days to promote
that.
it.
And contact mapping, that side of the equation. People are begging us to get a VIP room on that side too. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
All right, man. I love you, Eric. We'll see
All
you.
right.
Thank you, Eric.
All right. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Eric.
Take care.
All right.